Fills galore. Fun with right foot. Rated NC-17. Never mind. Okay, so we have our double stroke bass drum technique that we're learning something new every day, which is it's great. You asked a lot of good questions about where to place your foot on the pedal. You typically want to have the widest part of your foot, right around the ball of your foot, to kind of be placed on the pedal where it's the widest. But feel free to adjust and experiment with a little bit of those varieties. You have to allow the spring to work and your foot to work with it in order to maximize the stroke and volume. So when you're dealing with the first stroke and I ask you to play these big open, like not working at all to get this kind of height, you're just trying to re-engage the stroke at its peak when the beater is closest to your foot. When you want to try and play a double stroke, you have to let the beater come back, which means you can't put the weight on the ball of your foot, or you'll get a really close and choked stroke, which is not what we're looking for. So you should challenge yourself in trying to. You can only re-engage the stroke when the beater hits you in the foot. I've done 4 in a row just now where I felt the beater tap my foot before I re-engaged. Okay, when that happens, your toes kind of flex the pedal in order to start the first stroke, and then again just kind of riding the wave of the pedal. You don't want to place your foot down too early because then you're going to get a choked second stroke. So you try to get that beater to come back as far as it did the first stroke before you plant the platform of your foot down. Okay? And at the end of the stroke is the only time where it feels like all sewn up. So go back and forth between trying to play unison hands. And notice, like when the hands lift to play and when the foot lifts to play, it should be the same when they're playing together. Okay, and then in context, I remember last week we talked about 2s plus 2s, and then coming out on a number. And you have to tell yourself that something's always happening. You can't wait for your hands to be finished in order for the right foot to start. Start with that, and lay your hands. Foot hasn't changed. Here comes double strokes. You should get really comfortable having your foot be in transit instead of always finished. That's a really big deal. The mountain of my gates, quick departure. Crash into the new field. I think that's it. It might not be, but yeah, just make sure that you're mindful of crashing new sections. At the end, when it goes from, you can say this the whole time, it's fine. If you're thinking these are 8th notes, you're going to play 16th notes next. And it starts with hands, not with foot. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, if you wanted to stop on 4, that's fine. Oh yeah, that's fine. So that magic note on the hand of 4. Don't worry about me. So then there's some hand patterns that we've been digging in on. The 3+1. We play an entire fill worth of, and then use our double stroke instrument to beat 1. That word is that all 3 notes are on 1 drum. That's pretty stock. If you wanted to do toms to snare drum, that's a pretty cool idea. I'm not going to think too hard about it because I know where the hands are going. I know the foot is going to come out of the so I'm really just choosing where to play the numbers. So again, trying to minimize the thought instead of thinking about every single stroke that you're playing. But you got to take care of the technique first before you can just like turn your brain off on those things. Then there's this guy. Got the Reggie's kit. There's probably going to be a 4-piece kit. So there's no this drum. Oh, God. I did it twice. Stop hitting your knee. So that should be an exercise. Like, put on the click, see if you can trade ideas. Like, okay, I'm going to play 4 beats worth of 2+2s. Then I'm going to play 4 beats of 3+1s in varying orders, right? And then when I want to stop, you're going to play a 1 into a crash. Or unison, or just right hand crash. Mixing it up. You asked about favorite fills. I'll just play around a little bit. I'm just messing around. I'm not like dialing in like, oh, that's my favorite fill. This is my 5th favorite fill. This is my 3rd favorite. It's just, I don't know. You end up playing the sounds you want, and your technique and facility orchestrate that. I wish I had a more straight ahead answer for you, but first comes like can your right foot move that way? And then the music that you're listening to. Have you latched on to a sound that you really dig? Like it's as much listening as it is just your physical capability on the kit. That's it, Ming. Ming,
All right.
ying, 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 ying.